Hello and welcome to Global Focus. In today's video, we're breaking down the most important developments from the Middle East, Europe, and the United States, the stories shaping global politics, security, and the economy right now. Stay with us until the end, because what's coming next could directly impact the world in the weeks ahead. Let's start in Europe, where leaders are warning of a major shift in the global order. European officials say the continent is entering a new geopolitical era, one defined by uncertainty, rising security threats, and changing alliances. There is growing pressure for Europe to become more strategically independent, especially in defense, energy, and technology. This isn't just about building up armies, it's about creating self-sufficient supply chains and strengthening the European Union's own political voice on the world stage. At the same time, intense debates continue over how Europe should deal with Russia, the future of NATO expansion, and its long-term relationship with the United States. While cooperation with Washington remains strong, European leaders are openly discussing how to protect their own interests in a rapidly changing world. It's a delicate balancing act, maintaining old friendships while forging a new, more independent path. Meanwhile, climate-related threats are now being treated as a serious security issue. After recent devastating wildfires and extreme weather events highlighted the continent's shared vulnerability, several European countries are strengthening their cross-border emergency cooperation. The thinking is that a natural disaster in one country can quickly become a security crisis for its neighbors, so a unified response is essential. This shift shows that Europe's concept of security is expanding beyond just military threats to include environmental stability as well. Now let's turn to the Middle East, where tensions remain dangerously high. The United States has recently increased its military readiness across the region amid rising concerns over regional stability. Officials have stated that this move is meant to deter any potential escalation and to protect vital international shipping routes and strategic interests. The presence of additional naval assets and military personnel sends a clear message that Washington is watching the situation very closely and is prepared to act. Iran remains at the center of regional and international attention. Diplomatic pressure continues to be applied, with various global powers attempting to find a peaceful resolution. However, this is happening alongside significant military signaling from all sides. While leaders in Washington, Tehran, and other regional capitals all say they prefer diplomacy, analysts are warning that the risk of miscalculation is extremely high. A single mistake or misunderstanding could quickly spiral into a wider confrontation, with devastating consequences. Across the region, ongoing conflicts and complex proxy tensions continue to inflict a heavy toll on civilian populations. These shadow wars disrupt daily life, cripple local economies, and have a ripple effect on global energy markets. Any major escalation in the Middle East would likely have immediate global consequences, from a sharp spike in oil prices to a domino effect on international security arrangements. The world is watching, holding its breath, hoping that cooler heads prevail. Over in Washington, U.S. leaders are juggling a complex set of domestic priorities while managing increasing global responsibilities. The United States continues to emphasize its unwavering commitment to allies in both Europe and the Middle East, providing security guarantees and diplomatic support. At the same time, there's a clear strategic focus on long-term competition with other major global powers. This is reflected in ongoing policy discussions where defense spending, military readiness, and the strengthening of strategic partnerships remain at the very center. American officials are also stressing the critical importance of keeping global trade routes secure. This isn't just a military concern, it's an economic necessity. These routes, especially those in the Middle East and the Indo-Pacific, are the arteries of international commerce. They are vital for the transport of energy supplies, finished goods, and raw materials that power the global economy. Ensuring these sea lanes remain open and safe is a top priority, as any disruption could have a severe impact on American consumers and businesses, as well as the world at large. So, why does all of this matter? All of these geopolitical developments are closely tied to the global economy. The persistent uncertainty in Europe and the Middle East continues to impact financial markets, affecting investor confidence and causing volatility in energy prices. When investors are nervous about global stability, they're less likely to make long-term investments, which can slow economic growth. In response, Europe is accelerating its push toward energy independence. This means massive investments in renewable energy and diversifying its sources of natural gas to reduce reliance on any single supplier. In the United States, the focus is on securing supply chains and promoting trade stability, trying to make the economy more resilient to global shocks. And in the Middle East, energy production and transportation remain key factors in global economic health. Any disruption to the flow of oil from that region could be felt at the gas pump worldwide within days. So what should we be watching for going forward? There are a few key questions that will shape the near future. First, will diplomacy succeed in easing the sky-high tensions in the Middle East, or are we headed for a wider conflict? Second, can Europe strengthen its unity and forge a more independent path while navigating these complex global power shifts? And finally, how will the United States manage its role as a global leader in an increasingly divided and competitive world? The answers to these questions will likely define the next phase of international relations and impact all of our lives. If you found this global update useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more clear and balanced news coverage. Tell us in the comments, which region do you think poses the biggest global risk right now? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next update.